Hey everybody, welcome to another real estate video. Today's video is maybe not relevant to you, but is definitely relevant here and probably a lot of places as well. We find a mixture of older homes built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and then a lot of newer built homes, the neighborhoods, the HOAs that are built much more recently. So I want to talk to you today about the pros and the cons of buying an older home versus a newer home and see which one is more beneficial to you in your current situation. There is no perfect answer. It's just unique to what you need and what your lifestyle is that you're looking for. Speaking broadly from experience, not telling you what to do, but just kind of helping you get clarity on what to decide. Both these options have real merit. There's some definite upsides to them. The goal is to find what fits your situation. We've been helping people in Snohomish County for the last 9 years buy and sell real estate. We've helped over 1,600 families during that time make a move. So during this time, I've seen patterns across hundreds of transactions. I want to share with you some of those insights I've gained through all that experience in this video. Let's talk about the pros on the new homes and jump right into it. So the pros in the new homes, you're gonna have newer systems, things like newer HVAC, which is like the furnace, the air conditioning, if it's got air conditioning, newer plumbing, electrical is less likely to have immediate work that's needed. It's gonna be built to modern code, no lead paint, which was banned in 1968, by the way. Likely gonna be copper wiring, better materials, things like that. There's gonna be a clear ownership history, so it's easier to pull permits and see what was done and make sure everything was done the way it was supposed to be. So there's likely going to be fewer unpermitted add-ons, things like enclosed carports, do-it-yourself room additions, kitchen renos, things like that. But really, really important, I want to mention this, that if the home was rented for a few years, or if it had a bad owner, it doesn't matter if it's newer. 2 or 3 years of horrible maintenance is not as good as 20 or 30 years of good maintenance on a house. So still do your due diligence and know who was living in that house. Was it rented or was it owner occupied? Do these people take care of the house or not? A home inspection is going to reveal very clearly to you the answers to these questions. So those are the pros on the new homes. But what about the cons on the new houses? Well, most newer developments come with an HOA, which includes monthly fees, paint color restrictions, and no shortage of rules. So just kind of be aware of that. You want to make sure that you understand HOAs have benefits and they also have some pain points that go with them as well. Like there's going to be a higher resale value because the neighborhood has consistency to it. But with that means you have to comply with the rules. When there's RVs parked in every other driveway or there's, beat up cars being fixed in the front yard of people's landscaping, that hurts resale significantly for everyone in the whole neighborhood. HOAs are designed to prevent that from happening and having a common aesthetic appeal to that place and that look. So that's why they exist. But they also have the downsides that you have to be okay with the rules. Like if you like working on cars in your driveway, probably don't want to buy a house in an HOA. So what are the pros of the older houses? Let's kind of look at the other side of this. Well, of course, they're going to have more character. They're going to have unique layouts, custom touches built up over decades, and not be cookie cutter. Like when you look at the newer communities right now, it's very common a builder will build the same floor plan 10 times in the same community. Like they could even be right next to each other and just have different roof lines or different, colors or brickwork on the outside. So things have gotten very cookie cutter on newer houses. The older homes, oftentimes it's just one of a kind type properties, which look really, unique and have their own feel and vibe. You typically also have bigger lots. When it comes to older houses, newer homes come on very small lots just because land has gotten very expensive. So builders try to cram as many houses into their communities as possible. But these older homes, oftentimes you're going to see like quarter acre or larger lots, sometimes half acre, more outdoor space and flexibility. A lot of times these older homes also don't have an HOA, which gives you that freedom to customize things like paint, additions, landscaping, because it's your house. You can do what you want without the restrictions of an HOA. Just keep in mind, like I said earlier, you don't get the benefit of that HOA when it comes to having consistency in your neighborhood, which helps you on resale. If you have an $800,000 home, you don't want to be next to a $150,000 manufactured home that's beat up that has 15 cars in the driveway. So just keep that in mind. Years of personal touches can make each one of these older homes completely unique and different as well, which adds to that character. On the other hand, the cons of the new homes, they're going to be older materials. So aluminum wiring is very common in older houses. You may even see knob and tube wiring in some of the very old houses in Snohomish and in Everett, which is a potential fire risk and is not as efficient as copper. You're going to have aged plumbing, which could be galvanized, which is not good, and then older sewer lines as well. So there's a lot of like this infrastructure that could be expensive to fix as it deteriorates. Like replacing the galvanized plumbing in a house is really expensive. Replacing a sewer main is also very expensive. So You got to be very careful when you're buying an older house to make sure these things are looked at. Get a sewer scope inspection done on the sewer to make sure that looks good as well. I've seen sewer main replacements as high as $30,000. We got to dig up the whole front yard. It's a whole ordeal. And that pipe sunk like 8 inches. You don't want that, or it's totally blocked. There could also be kind of murky ownership history. It could be the 5th, 10th, or 15th owner. It's hard to know the full story if the home was built in the 50s, 60s, 70s, anything like that. So usually only 1 to 2 systems have been updated. So budget for the ones that have not. Think about things like roofs, furnaces, air conditioners. Those are all things that have a certain shelf life to them that have to be replaced. A roof is usually good for 25 to 30 years, depending on the quality of it. And then typically a furnace is good for about 20 years. A water heater is good for about 10 years on the high end of things. So just be aware that you're gonna have to replace those things if they're older. It's really nice to find an older home where the wiring is newer, the plumbing is newer, but most of the time you're gonna just find that 1 or 2 of these things are updated and the rest has not been. Often homes that are flipped or that are remodeled, they only touch up the cosmetic parts of the house, like the things you notice when you walk into it. Things like the countertops, the kitchen, the floors, the paint, all that's new, but all the systems, the structure of the house is completely original. Like it's an old roof, it's the original furnace. That means that you could potentially be sinking a lot of money into this house later, even though it looks beautiful and perfect at the surface level as you walk through it. This is again where a home inspection becomes very important. If a home was recently flipped, make sure you look at the systems. Very important. But be open to both. You know, new homes and older homes, I recommend looking at both and really finding which one is a better fit for you and the lifestyle you're wanting and the maintenance that you're okay with the house and the costs of potentially updating it. But don't rule out a category until you've explored it. Pay attention to which type really keeps catching your eye and then really focus there. Like if you keep being pulled toward older houses, then focus on older houses. But if you find yourself really attracted to newer homes and you keep looking at those, then that's probably the place to go deeper on. So the grass grows greener where you water it. So if you focus on a certain area, you're more likely to find something there instead of wondering what else could be out there. But no matter what, make sure you always get a home inspection. A home inspection is going to show you what is wrong with the house at a level that you just can't see when you or I walk through it. We can see all the surface level stuff, but you need someone to crawl through that crawl space, look at the plumbing, look at the heating system, look at the roof, look at the attic, all these places that a homeowner is not typically going to be able to see and make sure everything looks good. And it's equally important to inspect a new house as it is an old house. I've seen plenty of issues on newer homes that were just never dealt with when the home was built, and you want to make sure you're aware of that as well. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Snohomish County, you can connect with us using the links below, fill out the form, and we'll reach out to you if we think we could be a good fit to work together. We help qualified buyers and motivated sellers each and every day help make a move right here in Snohomish County. And we've helped over 1,600 families successfully make a move in the last 9 years. I'll see you on my next video.